Good morning, everybody. Today it's Tuesday, the 22nd. Hope everybody's well. And another quick video from Platinum Crypto Academy. Just wanted to start really having a look at the market, seeing what's going on. Price of Bitcoin is just over 8,250 bucks. We've seen it drop below 8,000 in the past couple of days, so a nice little range that we're finding ourselves in, maybe about a 500 buck range from 7.9 to 8.4 really at the top. I think that we're going to see a bit of sideways motion. The real volume isn't really anything to shout about, and so we're going to get this sideways trend. Looking at the money to flow, we can see how Bitcoin is starting to list up a few more of the altcoins in terms of volume going into them. Not huge amounts of volume, but given given there's only 200 million in volume, across these coins, it would be nice to see a bit more. But volume is volume at the end of the day. We need to get some traction from new retail market and keep building on the institutional market, which I'll get into shortly. But one bit of news that I wanted to draw upon and spend a few moments today in discussing was the recent. It's a bit of a topic which I don't know many people will talk about, but I think it's important to understand what actually went on here and why it's a good thing for Bitcoin, not necessarily a negative. So hundreds arrested across 38 countries. I think it was something like 300 plus arrests in dark web child abuse case. Now, the reason why I bring this up, and sorry for such a horrible topic to start with, but I want to bring it back to cryptocurrencies really, and really talk about how Bitcoin was the reason or the ledger, the information that's contained in the transactions that occurred, allowed law enforcement internationally to make these arrests. And so I just wanted to spend a few moments explaining what is involved in a in a Bitcoin transaction. So you've got, for those of you who are new, you'll have the Bitcoin sender address where you're sending it, which is the long Bitcoin address that you may or may not be familiar with. You'll also have a recipient's wallet address. So say I was sending somebody money in Bitcoin, I would be the sender address, that's mine. Recipient wallet address, that would be the person that's receiving the transaction, and the amount is also visible on the blockchain. And so for law enforcement to track and find out, who, what, where these people are, it was a long process, because for those of you who don't know, BTC can be anonymous when used in a specific way. You have to use specific places on the internet to buy and sell products using Bitcoin. You have to have particular places where it's anonymous, where you sign up to use a system that's anonymous. You don't give you details over in KYC, and you can go through that process, through the entire process of moving money around. And as long as you're using those places, Bitcoin can be anonymous. And you can slip up, or the individuals who got caught obviously did slip up. They may have extracted the money into a bank. I don't know the exact details, which obviously is registered to an individual. And so you're going to get caught through the KYC process and the links to Bitcoin wallets through those transactions. And so really good thing in terms of how Bitcoin here is able to be that transparent, but also be used in a way to catch nefarious individuals. And I think the question has to be put out there, and I'd like to be very clear on this. With all that said, there is a major part of this particular story has to be clearly stated, because it means that just because somebody wants to use Bitcoin anonymously doesn't mean that they're doing anything nefarious or breaking the law. In my view, there must be some level of financial privacy enjoyed by all individuals. It's almost scary for me and for anybody that believes in cryptocurrencies from this standpoint, it's scary that it's a foregone conclusion that the future of this world is almost going to be a cashless society in a very short period of time, where governments or centralized bodies can see everything we do and decide of how to use that information against us if they see fit. So it could be that you're buying a particular product using a normal Visa at the moment that's linked to your current account. Everything is seen that what you're buying, you're spending, and where you're spending it currently. But if you use cash at the moment, you can draw out the cash, and then it's none the wiser what you bought with that cash. Nobody can trace that at the moment. Obviously, with cryptocurrencies, um, it provides an ability to be anonymous in terms of your purchasing, whether it's for, like I said before, just because somebody wants to use Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency anonymously, it doesn't mean that they're going to be doing anything nefarious. And I think that there's nothing to hide at the same time. But aren't we in a society where we should have a level of privacy? That's a question which I'd let everybody else answer themselves. I'm okay with being transparent, but it's the fact that um, a government or anybody could just look in at any stage when you're not doing anything wrong, and just find out all your information. And I think that's a bit invasive, but that's a question that needs to be asked. Bitcoin was created for a specific reason, and in my mind, it's to fight back from centralized controls. The digital currency delivers on that promise. It's enabled to be private, it's enabled to be decentralized, and it's a way of getting away from the deflationary structure, to circumvent a systematic stealing of wealth from the poor by elites. And it is seen time and time again across the world where the people that are affected most by centralized controls are the normal people like me, the people that work for a living, the people that aren't necessarily big international business moguls. They're people just like everybody else, works their 9 till 5 or whatever their hours are, and we're the ones that are affected the most by policies that are generally put in place globally. And so decentralization is required to ensure that potentially overreaching governments and organizations can't seize or censor free individuals. I.e., I think I mentioned in one of my videos a couple of weeks ago, the gentleman out of Venezuela that was able to feed his family against all the odds in the current hyperinflation location in the world. And I think that just, really screams volumes for me. So I know that was a bit of a morbid tone to the video, but I just wanted to go through, what a Bitcoin transaction contains. It can be anonymous if used in a specific way, but generally most people just want to use it for the benefits that it brings. That it's not tied to any centralized currency. It's not tied to inflation. It's not tied to any of the normal problems that the current fiat system has, and it's allowing people to make their own choice on where they store their wealth or their money that they wish to use. And I think we should have that, and I think it's done that job perfectly. One great bit of news, however, is out of Fidelity. We all know they've been stockpiling, they've been mining, they've been building up their digital asset operation to their clients. And I think it's the news that just came out this week was it's open to more investors. They're really opening the market up for themselves. Everybody, it's a household name, Fidelity. They're engaged in a full rollout of its custody and trading services, expanding from the limited trial users in the platform's final test stage, according to the Financial Times interview. What a great thing. Fidelity are going to be leading the way. It's going to open the doors for people that are used to listening and being involved with Fidelity that may not have dipped into the market. It will take time. But again, these are positive steps. It's amazing news. Everybody knows Fidelity. It's an on ramp now for the forefront of its huge client base for the into the crypto space. It's just a wonderful, bit of news to come out that they're really pushing forward with their plans that they started in, I think it was 2 years ago now, maybe longer in terms of their mining. Another bit of news that's come out is all of you old school traders in the crypto space or investors will remember an exchange called Poloniex. They were bought out by Circle. Well, after 2 years, they're actually closing down the or spinning down, shall we say, or just shutting down the Poloniex platform, and they're going to be launching it under a new exchange name. And I'm not 100% sure of the name yet, but they're going to be. They said they're going to be launching it, and it also says for all you US citizens, they have until December the 15th to withdraw their assets because they're not going to be supporting American users at this stage. And I believe that Poloniex, being one of the OGs in the space, look, we know why Circle bought it, to be more transparent on the space, to understand where market flows are going. 3 years ago, Poloniex was one of the major exchanges. Yes, it's been winding down and delisting coins recently, but I expect to see a massive upsurge once it's been relaunched. And I'm excited to see that because it was a good platform. I used to trade on it. So, guys, let's have a quick look at before I go. What was I looking at the price? We've looked at the price. Bitcoin, yep, it's gone up slightly since we last looked at it. I'd say be careful this week. I'd say keep a lookout for a drop below 8K because it might be a good buying opportunity. I've been doing that for the past couple of days and it's worked out quite nicely. Have a look at the fear and greed index. We've got minimal fear. I don't know how much people listen to this fear and greed index, but look, it's just another indicator of what's going on in the market. And I'd always implore people to take a look at things. Anyway, guys, have a great week. I'll probably release a video either Thursday, Friday this week, just to give an update of what's going on. So have a good one.